The Dentka try-in visit. Once Dentka receives and scans the impression, the clinician can choose to receive a try-in denture, which is a 3D printed prototype, or to proceed with their final dentures. A number of aspects of the try-in denture can be evaluated and adjusted by the clinician, allowing predictability and perfection in the final denture. The try-in can be used to evaluate border extension of the phalanges, the fit including retention, occlusion, vertical dimension of occlusion, the midline, occlusal plane, and tooth display. The clinician and patient can also approve aesthetics and phonetics before proceeding to the final denture. This visit is very different than a wax tooth try-in for conventional dentures. With a wax setup, there is great potential for things to distort and shift in transit, resulting in a final denture that doesn't represent the patient-approved setup. Additionally, the fit and retention of a wax tooth setup does not typically represent the fit of the final denture, unless additional steps and fees are completed. Dentka's try-in process changes all of this, making it simpler and more predictable. At the try-in visit, all that is needed is articulating paper, heavy and light viscosity polyvinyl siloxane, bite registration material, a marker, a slow-speed handpiece with acrylic burr, and a camera. Please note, with any changes you make, take a photograph before and after to communicate those changes to Dentka. The fit and retention of the maxillary try-in denture are first evaluated. Seat the upper and evaluate the overall fit, making sure that the denture is in the appropriate plane with acceptable soft tissue support and aesthetics. Next, check the retention. If the denture will not seal, check the post dam and see if adjustments are needed. Rarely, the retention is not adequate on the try-in denture. If this does occur, relieve the intaglio and re-impress with heavy and light body polyvinyl siloxane, repeating border molding. This can also be done on the lower denture. Evaluate for fit and stability. If this procedure is done, take a new bite with the try-in dentures opposing each other. Send your bite, along with the try-in dentures filled with the impression material, back to Dentka. Next, evaluate the bite and occlusion. If the bite is open or incorrect, seat the dentures completely. Have the patient gently close with a light touch until their first occlusal contact, and take a new bite registration in this position. Measure the space between the upper and lower incisal edges if there's an open bite, and record this number for Dentka. With these changes, another try-in is typically not needed. Send the try-in with a bite in place and move on to your final seat. If only a small bite adjustment is needed, this change need not be done at the time of the try-in. It is just as quick to do this change at the final delivery appointment. If there are any areas preventing a complete seat, causing soreness, or that feel overextended to the patient, these can be adjusted in the try-in stage. Mark any adjusted areas on the try-in with a marker and send back to Dentka, letting them know what was modified. If the necessary adjustments are very minor, again, these adjustments may be done at the final seat visit with pressure indicating paste, as is the standard seat protocol. When evaluating the aesthetics, remind the patient before handing them the mirror that the color will not reflect the final tooth color, and of course the gums will be pink in the final denture. Check for acceptable tooth display when smiling, a straight incisal plane, and good lip support, as well as a correct midline. If the midline is off, mark the facial midline on the try-in denture with a marker. For any other changes in tooth display or position, photograph as clearly as possible and describe the changes on the lab slip. Another option for correcting aesthetics is to adjust the teeth on the Dentka app. Once logged in, the clinician can reposition one or many teeth to the desired position. These changes will be reflected in the final denture.